Hey everyone, welcome back to our AEW Double or Nothing review. Woo-tang! Best in the world, baby. But we'll get into that match later. With us once again, we have Putty over to my right, Caps right below Putty, and Campo right below me, where he belongs.
I'll take it.
There you go. So, like we said off the top, this is our AEW Double or Nothing review. Got to get it out. It was a long show. I think it was a little too long.
Oh God.
Caps is already suffering.
Wow, he's having PTSD at the moment. So
yeah,
we'll get into that. I think
when it was all said and done, it was over 4.5 hours long.
But we'll get into it. I'll just say the beginning. I feel like the middle made it long.
Yes,
honestly.
I agree with Putty. And I kind of want to wait, but like the middle of their events, because I've noticed this because it happened in the last event as well.
Mm-hmm.
They start pretty strong, then they put everybody to sleep, and then they wait till the end to drop all their banger matches. And you're like, but everyone's sleeping now. Why did you do that?
They woke it. Well, the crowd did wake up in the final match.
Of course.
Of course, the crowd woke up.
But I mean, so let us get started with the pre-show match, because everybody was looking forward to that, and I was disappointed that it was on the pre-show, which was Hookhausen against Tony Nese and Mark Sterling.
I am a fan of Danhausen. Danhausen, I just like his personality. That's such a great,
Putty comes in here, okay, finds everything I love, and is like, "That's my favorite thing now."
That's
and
your
favorite.
No, there's another
that Hook. He looks like a Street Fighter character.
I will give you the Danhausen thing, but there's a character later on that I said I loved originally in the first AEW. You didn't say anything about him, and I think you even became a fan.
No, Putty, you're a liar face. Okay. Your face is a liar. But no, this match.
Yes, but Hook does look like Guile meets Sagat.
He does look like a Street Fighter mixed character.
He looks like exactly like what you said. But after seeing this match, yes, it definitely deserved to be on the pre-show. It was barely a match. But like.
I like Danhausen's tribute to Batman '89 on his trunks.
I think
Caps is like there was.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't see the match. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay, so on the back of Danhausen's trunks. You remember Batman '89? They say "Love that Joker" when they were doing. So on the back of his trunks, it said "Love that Danhausen," and on the front they had the swirly logo with Danhausen's face on it, like the way they did with the Joker.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was an entertaining match. It was fun. I like the progress of Hook and Danhausen because this is what I've wanted for my whole life, and I just never knew it.
It got the crowd going. It got the crowd hot for the show.
So if anybody missed it as well, I like to talk about the one thing that did happen on the pre-show. It was probably the only thing that was worth watching. There is a promo by Eddie Kingston.
Yes.
And it was absolutely the most fire promo I've seen ever. That ended with him screaming. He's like, what did he say? He's like, "I drink to drown my demons." The problem is my demons can swim. And then the video just cuts. And I was like, oh, that was so sick.
What I'll do is the pre-show, it's all on YouTube. I'll leave a link in the description to the pre-show. If anybody wants to go watch it, do yourselves a favor, go and watch that pre-show. But yeah, I mean, it got the crowd hyped. That's really all that matters because they want a hot crowd going into the show, right? And no better way to get the crowd hyped than with Hook and Danhausen.
Yeah, Hook is so over. It's crazy.
And the
it's
kid's
crazy
like,
that we just
18?
watched 2 pay-per-views and he didn't do anything on either one of them.
Yeah. And the kid's 18, 19?
No, I think he's like 21 now.
Okay.
20.
Point is, this kid's going to be a star.
Yeah, he's going to be huge.
He's going to be a star. He's got to bulk up a bit, but he's going to be.
But I think the whole thing that they're doing, the angle they're doing with that is really smart because they're making it seem like Danhausen can't wrestle. And even though we all know it, well,
he can wrestle.
Everybody, but he's a great wrestler.
Watch him moving in that match. He can move. Yeah. He can.
So, but they're making it seem like Hook is teaching him how to wrestle, and he's going to keep progressively getting better. And I think this is not going to be. They're not going to have an angle where they turn on each other. I think they're going to end up becoming a really good tag team.
It's a better version of Arcade Bro.
Yeah, basically.
But after that, we get the whole pomp and circumstance, and the show begins. Opening match, we got MJF versus Wardlow. a glorified long squash match. They basically buried MJF.
But basically, I have to tell you this: the story that's told in this match is fantastic because this is AEW doesn't do a lot of things well, but this specific storyline they've executed so well. Wardlow is so over. He got his justice. Everyone is happy now, and MJF is basically free to do whatever the hell he wants, whether he wants to leave the company or not.
Yeah, I think he's still got a little bit left on his contract, though.
Well, there was all that speculation that he wasn't even going to show up to this match, so
because he didn't want to get squashed, right?
He has a contract dispute. He wants more money.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's renegotiating that. He wants to renegotiate.
But they did play it
so
smart.
If you're over and you want to renegotiate, that's fine. But what if you start to do poorly? Can the company renegotiate and give you less money?
Yeah, probably not.
Right. So,
but they did a good move there at the beginning of the match when me and Putty were even talking about it. Like, is he going to come out? Because I told Putty what was happening. They played the music and he didn't come out for a bit. They played the music for a bit and they like held it. So like this could all be a work, right?
Yeah.
If there was anybody that can actually sell a match, it's MJF. He is just as over as Wardlow, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
He could tell a good story. And like Campo said, they did a really good job with the storyline. They took their time with the storyline.
Yeah, they built it up. And was it Jim Ross or Tony Schiavone or one of them said the way MJF behaves and the way he acts is very reminiscent of the way Piper used to work.
Yeah, the way Putty used to work. I know
the way Putty. Yeah,
I thought that's what you were going to say.
No, the way Roddy Piper used to work in the ring.
I mean, he's a great talker, and I feel like it's all shoots. I don't feel like he has a script ever, and that's what Piper was really good at.
Yeah,
he would just show up and go.
And he was always in character, 100%.
Yeah, MJF never breaks character, which is crazy.
Yeah, even to kids. Wardlow goes over. He's released from MJF's contract, and now he's finally all elite. So I feel this storyline's done. Wardlow's probably going to move on. Probably something we saw later in the show that didn't have anything to do with Wardlow, but they're going to go with, I think, something to do with Dante Martin. And then after Dante Martin, I think Wardlow is going to be put in that picture with Scorpio Sky.
Well, let's see.
I think what's next for him is, a belt, one belt. I don't know what. It can't be the championship belt.
It's going to be the FTW.
Yeah, it's going to be something.
I think so, or maybe the TNT. It's TNT, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the TNT.
But I could see him getting. I could see him getting the FTW or something, and then getting the TNT and being like a double title holder for a bit, and they're trying to really get him over, and then lose it somehow. I don't know, but he has star potential. He's not the greatest in-ring worker, but
he's still fairly green. Yeah, but
you got to strike while it's hot. He's so over right now. Just you might as well. And
don't make the Braun Strowman mistake.
It's pretty parallel to Goldberg's storyline. So like you said,
and the way they did it too.
Yeah, like you said, Johnny Donuts. It's they got to be careful because they don't want this thing to be old pretty quick. So they got to be very, very careful.
Slow build, a slow burn.
Hell, he's doing power bombs, so it may not be a jackknife, but
I think I akin him more to like, especially the way he was dropping those power bombs. I think they want to build him like a Brock Lesnar type of character.
I can kind of see that. I don't fully agree, but I kind of see where you're going with that. It makes sense
because he's not that big, but he is a big dude. Like
he did very not tower. Like, he looks physically strong. He doesn't look like one of those wrestlers that you look and you're like, Jesus Christ, look at him. But he just looks like he's really strong.
Yeah,
and like you put him next to like what's that guy's name? Hobbs.
Yes.
Hobbs is bigger.
That's what
we did see that in that
but
ladder
then Hobbs,
match.
even as big as Hobbs looks, when you have him next to
Keith Lee,
he doesn't even look big.
Even Luchasaurus
makes him look small.
Yeah, but
it's just he looks so strong. Like he looks really, really strong.
Yeah, and basically, my favorite part was at the end when they put the oxygen mask over his eyes.
Yeah, I know. I told Putty what I said. They put the neck brace on him. And then they let his head hang over the side of the thing. It didn't even make sense.
But then they put the oxygen mask up here. Like,
but before even all those, I even mentioned, I said, listen, here's the thing. When it comes to wrestling, pro wrestling, however you want to look at it, we always talk about how there's simple things that a human body would not be able to do when it just comes to if they're actually that physically hurt. So the times he was picking him up and putting him in the position of the power-ups, his legs would have buckled. He never would have been standing in that position in the first place. So to know, okay, now they're going a little too over dramatic because, like, if you literally could able to stand and do that, why are they putting a neck brace on him? Why are they putting him on a stretcher? It was so over.
It worked, man.
It's to write him off TV for a while.
Well, let's this match is not long enough for this conversation.
All right, so we'll go on to the next match then, which was a train wreck of a match.
Sorry, guys. I just want to point out one more thing. You see that last powerbomb? He held him up there for a long time.
Yeah, he did.
Full crotch right in his face, eh?
Oh yes.
There were a couple cross shots in this show.
After he powerbombed him, he did one of these, eh?
Okay, Caps. I'm gonna stop you right now. I've been sitting here in anticipation, being so quiet because the reason is when that happened, Caps. John Campo, aka Campo over here, decided to give the guy a nickname, and that whole time we were giggling like fucking 5-year-olds because of the nickname he gave him. So Campo, you want to show it?
So in the movie, what do you call it? Good Burger, he calls himself Grape Nose Boy. So I was like, I'm Dick Nose Boy. Actually, Putty didn't see it. I rewound it because I'm like, look how much his dick is touching his nose when he was holding him there.
It's like rubbing.
That's funny. Hey, but I'm not taking away from the match for that.
No, the match was pretty good. So from a decent match to probably, in my opinion, one of the worst matches of the night.
My God,
which is sad.
Okay. Weird.
Okay, match. It wasn't the worst match. It was a bad performance by Jeff Hardy.
I have a fully written here. It was just a really strange match.
It was.
Jeff Hardy came out, and I said this right away, and people can deny this, but he didn't look sober on the walkout. He missed all the timing for what Matt Hardy was doing for like the celebrations.
When he was leaning over to high five the fans, I thought he was going to fall over.
And then when he got in the ring, he looked fine. But then you pointed out at one point, and Putty, I don't even know if we ended up talking about this, but his boot came undone, and he had to have someone had to come do his boot up for him because he went up to do that spot, and he almost fell because his boot was falling off.
Well, whatever the term is called, because I was calling a receipt, which again, Campo told me it wasn't a receipt, unless I feel like that he did mess up, and that's the reason why. Because at one point, I think because of Jeff messing up, I even wrote it down, Nick Jackson, basically he like elbowed Jeff at one point because of him messing up. If you notice, he's running at him and he strikes him, and it doesn't seem like it's a normal strike. Like I think
you thought it was a little too over.
Like,
over exuberant.
I think Jackson was giving him that strike as a way of saying you're screwing up focus on the match, because there were so many times you could see that, at least I saw, where Jeff felt like Jeff was missing moments or missing hits.
The only other thing I could think of is if Jeff's hurt.
But this is another thing. He's been going 0 to 100 since he got in AEW. He has not stopped. Every match has been insane. And I think it's too much, which on that point, maybe he did take like painkillers or something, but either way, it could have been all just the boot. Let's say that already caused so much trouble, because like I messaged you during the match and me and Putty were talking the whole time, and they didn't even attempt. This happened multiple times through the night, and I'll mention it every time. Okay. There was so much in-game play calling. It was crazy. Matt kept rolling over and telling Jeff, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, there was too much spot calling. Calling.
And you could see it. I rewound it for Putty. He covers his face and says it. And every time they do it, and it happens really bad in another match, they say something, and then immediately, as soon as they're done saying it, every time they roll over and face the opposite ways. Like, we can see what you're doing.
Yeah, or when they do the head tilt and they talk like...
It would be less heat score if you didn't roll away from each other after you did it. Just stand up. But there was so much of that on the outside. You could see that the Young Bucks went to each other to talk about something, like this is what's going to happen, and then one of them went and told Matt Hardy
that it's going to happen. Yeah, it was. I don't know. This match, I was expecting a bit more from these guys,
but the work when it happened was good, and Jeff, once he got his boot tied up, was fantastic for the rest of the match.
Yeah. The only thing I found a little strange at the end of the match was after the Hardys go over, and what happened was all of a sudden he jumps out of the ring and starts running through the crowd. Like,
yeah, well, that's what we were like, what the hell is going on? But I think this is all a work. This has to be some kind of work.
You think they're building to an angle for it?
Because why would he do that? That doesn't even make sense. He ran through the audience, but then came back.
Yeah.
I literally said it's a really weird match, and at that same point as I said that, Campo was literally writing that down. Like we just both were like,
like you said, it wasn't a bad match, but it was strange.
There was too much in between space where nothing was happening. That was number one.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, it was okay. There's three things actually. Number two, it got really awkward at times where they were like trying to decide what they were gonna do. And then number three, there was so much comedy that they tried to do that was not funny at all. Mm-hmm. Like there was none of it was funny, and I didn't get it. The stupid mimicking each other. I was like, it was funny the first time you did it on Dynamite last week. Like, let's get over this. But the best part of
the Gangrel spot was good though on last week.
JR said, look at those sideburns. They're like Chia Pet sideburns.
Yeah, I actually wrote it down. He literally said, "We're seeing the trailer." He said, okay, where's it? Here it is. JR said the Young Bucks have Chia. Yeah, exactly.
But it could have. This had potential to be a really good match.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. and there was flashes of greatness.
And I don't know. My question is like, I mean, they're still good, but can the Hardys keep up? That's the question.
Well, Matt Hardy's knees don't work at all.
No, you could see him. He's walking like Ozzy Osbourne in the ring.
Jeff Hardy needs to chill. That match with Darby Allen was mental.
Yeah. And now there's going to be like a 5-way on Dynamite, I think, with the Hardys. And
yeah, I also like, I'm going to get to this in a bit, but like AEW has this thing with really bloated tag matches and they need to chill.
Yeah.
Like 2-on-2, that's enough for me.
Yeah, the trios tag, then a 3-way, like it was a little too much.
And then if you're gonna have 3 teams, I don't want to see this shit where only one person from 2 random teams is in. One person from each team.
I want to see the 3-way, triple threat tag.
That's what I want.
I think I think Tony Khan does it on purpose though. That he in his mind, he thinks that WWE is not showcasing tag team matches very well, and he wants to make a purpose of actually doing that on his shows. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
That's a fair thing to say because I kind of have to agree with you. I just think it's at
too
some
much.
point it's too much. You have one of those matches. You don't need 7 of those matches in one night.
There were too many. Like there was a couple matches I think on this show that didn't need to be there. At least 2. We'll get to it. Okay, Hardys go over. Do you think the feud's done, or you think this continues?
I think there's going to be little bits of it for sure, but I feel like this was a blow off.
Okay. Next we have Anna Jay against Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship match.
Floppy.
Okay, so I'll give it to you like this: it was a decent match, but it was completely ruined by really weird ringside shenanigans that had nothing to do with the match.
Yeah.
It was so dumb. Anna Jay really tried, and Jade flubbed a lot of things.
But the thing is, Anna Jay and Jade, they're still not where they need to be.
No, and I'm not saying Anna Jade. Anna Jade. Anna Jay was fantastic, but you could see the amount of effort she was really putting in, where Jade wasn't selling some things. Yeah. And then she flubbed a few spots.
Yeah, there were a few botches.
They spot called more than a few times when they were on the floor. That was the match where they kept rolling to each other, saying stuff, and then rolling the other way.
Yeah.
And I was like, how many times are you going to do this?
Yeah. I don't know who that guy was that they came down the ramp. I have no idea.
There were so many times.
Malcolm or Stokely Hathaway?
Yeah.
I don't know. They even said the name. I was like,
too many people came to the ring.
He's another one that just left NXT a few weeks ago that his contract expired. He was a manager of, I think it was the Diamond Mine.
Yeah,
in NXT.
That's right. But
Malcolm Bivens.
He's been a manager like all over the place. He's very popular,
because they are bringing in a few like Ring of Honor guys. Even in the previous match, the Hardys and Bucks match, they had Caprice Coleman on commentary. Long-time Ring of Honor guy.
He was there. He was there tonight on this event.
Yeah, he was there on the event. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was at Dynamite for one match, I think, and he was also at Rampage for one match.
He was at I think he commented on the FTR match last week.
Yeah, they're slowly trying to
transition the Ring of Honor guys.
Ring of Honor down your throat so that they can open up Ring of Honor again as its own thing. But there was some good points of this match. It wasn't a terrible match by any means. the Jade Cargill versus Ty Conti match was way worse than this.
Yes.
And
we'll get to Tay Conti later.
But Anna Jay, I think this is the moment when she should have won the title.
Yeah.
And her not winning it to me felt like you're really pushing this girl. You clearly like her, but every time she gets something good going, you push her back to dark, and she never gets to wrestle on TV. And that's what's going to happen now.
Because they even said it too. Like, this is the second time you're facing me. You know, you faced me in the first match, and now I beat you, and I'm just going to beat you again. And it's like, I get it. They're trying to push Jade as this like unstoppable Goldberg type monster. Like, they really pushing the undefeated streak on this woman.
And I think if you made this victory, let's say it happened by disqualification, then Anna Jay will get so over. You can make her lose the belt back to Cargo, but it kind of gives like levity to this situation, because now all you did was make the fans go, okay, great, you made us sit through this match for nothing.
But that's the thing. Like, I noticed that's a theme of the show too. There was a lot of matches where other people got involved where they shouldn't have.
Yes, it's almost WCW.
Yeah.
But that's the thing too with Jade Cargill, that you're trying to build up this monster, this unbeatable monster, and on her talent, and then you still have, what's her name, Velvet Cupcake, or Red Velvet, whatever, and Kira Hogan.
And they suck. I'm just going to tell you right now, those two suck so hard. I don't understand why they're even like being pushed in this company at all.
Yeah, and it's taking away from Jade Cargill's ability to be this monster. I think now with the introduction of Stokely Hathaway into the role of like a promoter for Jade, he's going to kick the other two out.
Yes,
and just kind of like the way MVP did it to Bobby Lashley and the rest of the Hurt Business.
They're kind of making her look more foolish than they are like a beast at this point. And okay, so there is something that happens. And Putty, I don't know how I didn't know this. It's Ember Moon shows up.
Yep.
From WWE, her name was Ember Moon.
That was the one that was
sitting there looking at her like, who the hell is this? Why is everybody cheering? I didn't even click in my head until after this morning. I was like, oh, that's who that was. Putty, I literally woke up from sleeping and I was like, Ember Moon.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
But I mean, I kind of like that. Now this is a way to keep Jade still in the title picture, because now I think this is also going to build to a 3-way match.
See, but this is what I don't want. I don't want more 3-way matches. Yes, you're going to bring Ember Moon in, but you're going to waste her initial comeuppance as a 3-way. Unless
they pull the trigger and have her win the championship off of Jade.
Maybe, but Chris Statlander is too good for this garbage.
Yeah.
You've taken Anna Jay and you've eliminated her title shot, and to put her in a 3-way, you're taking Jade Cargill and you're protecting her title WWE style by making sure she doesn't have any more title matches. It's going to be 3-on-3 and tag matches. And I hate that. And that happens again coming up here. And I hate that shit.
Well, they're that girl that interrupted the match, not Ember Moon, the other one. The one with the blue hair.
Chris Statlander.
Yeah, that's Ember Moon. It looks blue hair.
Huh?
Ember Moon is the one with the blue hair.
The other one, the white girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Chris Statlander.
It looks as though now they're moving on to her, and she's going to probably get a shot at the title now.
Well, she lost to Ruby Soho in the
semifinals.
The semifinals of the. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, you guys, so like we know, like from past matches, like, you know, this person lost here. Now, why would they be a threat to this person if they lost that match? And then it's like,
that's what I find weird, because they protected Chris Statlander really hard in that match by making it seem like she got injured during the match, only to just put her in a 3-on-3 match where the title doesn't matter.
Yeah, I like going back to what you were saying before. Like, they didn't really do a good job of building up Anna Jay for this match, though.
No,
right?
They didn't.
No, they
kind
didn't.
of came out of nowhere.
Because she's been on Dark ever since Ty Conti and her split up. She's been on Dark the whole time.
Yeah, but because of that, it's like you kind of know that she's not really going to be a real threat to the title.
But I mean, at some points, I was believing it. At some point, some of the near falls, I did almost believe it. Like,
it wasn't that bad of a match, but I agree, it was nothing special, and they did flub a few points. Anna Jay's bulldog or
the somersault,
but she still pulled it off.
That somersault blockbuster off the
there you go.
Even Excalibur's like, I don't know what she was trying to do there, and
But she got it done still.
Yeah.
I give her credit. Like she figured out, she did a flip in the air and somehow managed to pull it off. So
Jade Cargill, like we're saying, she retains. You think this is going to do a 3-on-3 match? Yeah,
this storyline is going to keep going, but I think what's going to happen is Anna Jay is going to end up getting pushed back off TV, and Chris Statlander and Ember Moon are going to end up being the big shining stars of this whole thing.
You know what? This is mirroring Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Like the same type of like they'll push, and then we're gonna forget about you for a while.
And it's weird because you even had the whole thing with Anna Jay and Ruby Soho that was going really well, but now Soho is like been locked in as a singles person. So it's like, what's happening now?
Yeah, but anyway. Next match. I really enjoyed this one. Okay. This was the House of Black against the Death Triangle, Pento Scuro and
I'm definitely, this is the one I actually told Campbell, I said, I want to take over. Here's my thing. When we did the last pay-per-view, you guys know I'm new to AEW, right? Mm-hmm. When we did the first pay-per-view that I watched, they did the pre-show and they had Death Triangle in there, okay? And the thing is when, you know me, I do like the theatrics and things. I get really pumped up about it. These two, House of Black, especially Death Triangle, I really like these combinations. And then what ended up happening was, first of all, when me and Campo were talking, I was like, I haven't picked a favorite wrestler so far. So far, Penta Oscuro is my favorite wrestler in AEW right now. His visual look, his talent, everything about him is just amazing.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah. And there was one point he did a move which made me go, okay, this cemented it for sure, was when he did that flip. It was on the side of the ring where
he flipped over Ray and did the Canadian Destroyer onto the apron.
That was amazing. There was a few spots. Him and Ray Phoenix or Phoenix. They did the double run off the ropes and then and it was so perfectly in sync. Even when they showed the replay, it was the exact same time. Like, you know how good timing you need to do a perfect flip.
But I mean, they are a tag team that have been tag teaming for a long time.
That I'm a fan. Is like easily already in my top. What was his name? Tupac?
The bastard Pac.
Yeah,
he was amazing. Mm-hmm. And like I was the whole time I wanted him to do the Black Arrow or whatever it's called. That's like one of the sickest finishing moves that there is. And I asked Putty, I was like, just do it. And people
the corkscrew 450.
Oh my God, I was so upset people kept interfering with it. I was so mad.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm such a Death Triangle fan. I like how House of Black comes in. I'm such a fan of theirs as well. But Death Triangle, I'm so huge. And I'll be honest with you, this match was made me so pumped. I was with Campo like, they gotta win.
This was a great match.
The way that it finished actually is the worst idea in my head, because I don't know the character that came in, which we'll get
Julia
to.
Hart.
I don't know who she is, and I mean, she's attractive, she's good on the ice, but I don't know who she is. So for me, as a new person,
that's all he takes away from that.
Well, I mean, but she didn't do nothing.
Well, at least she doesn't wear the eye patch anymore.
But now because she's fully evolved.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying for me, you got to think, if I've never seen her before, she didn't impress me by coming in and spitting some mist and all of a sudden that's her.
Yeah. Because you don't know the background to that character. Yeah.
So
but I mean, this match though had that like Mexican lucha libre. Like, I don't know if you guys watched any of the, what was it on TLN there? Lucha Underground?
Lucha Underground.
Yeah. Lucha Underground. It had a lot of that type of, because that's where Phoenix and Penta really first came to prominence, was on Lucha Underground. Putty, if it's on Netflix, I think in the US, I would suggest go watch Lucha Underground.
I will. You have to understand, when, like I said, the pre-show of that, I loved it. I'm going to keep saying it. I am now a Death Triangle fan, and I am a Penta Oscuro fan. I'm going to forget to say his name right. Hopefully, I've been saying it right. But and when we finally do lists, it's like Putty's putting Penta on top right now. Penta and then Danhausen are my two favorites so far at AEW, and I'm now a fan.
I don't really like House of Black. I haven't seen them that much, but I just don't like the gimmick. I find it really stupid. I'm sorry, but I just do. But this match turned me, like watching them in the ring, minus what was his name?
Brody King.
Brody King clipping the top rope and literally killing himself.
Dang it. I was going to say that.
But it's funny because later Keith Lee, who's like double the size of him, goes completely
beautiful tope over there.
Yeah, it was crazy. But there was so much spots, like the individual spots.
But
here,
the fact that the fact that the botches were at a minimum in a match like that really, really impressed me.
Hey, the kicks when everyone was just super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick. I was like, what the hell? But that also happened in the match we just watched. Like
Yes,
2 matches
the
ago.
Hardys match there.
I wanted to say the payoff here. Okay, so this is what's funny. I don't like the ending of the match, but the payoff was totally worth this like 2-month long buildup of Julia Hart turning it. When I saw that, I was like, oh, that was amazing. It's not, I don't
because
like
you asked
ending.
me a few months ago, what's with the eye patch on Julia Hart? What's with the eye patch? And
well, I feel bad for Brian Pillman Jr. because they're going to get stuck on Dark now while she becomes like a beast. But she's a pretty good wrestler.
Yeah, Julia Hart's decent.
And they're doing this. And to me, I saw a bunch of people talking about it. This is in response to the whole Edge and Rhea Ripley thing. And to me, that was a good payoff. It was a great story. This match told a great story.
Now, the question is, who's Death Triangle going to bring in to counter Julia Hart?
I don't know. I don't even know characters.
I would say, yeah, I could see that.
If it was Ruby Soho, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean?
You know what? This is the most important thing. That on the final pin to win the match, dude hung dong. And
yes.
That's all that matters. I made Putty watch it 3 times.
Pack sack.
He's
like, I don't see it. I'm like, look, you could see it.
And I'm like, I hated him. Like, dude, why do you make me look for some dong, man? Come on.
They zoomed in on it.
Yeah, and they showed it again later in the night too when they did the recap.
But I even made a joke about one of the guys from House of Black about the whole paint makeup thing. I mean, it's cool. I see the dramatic effect and everything, but I mean, it just looks like some kind of infection at some point. So
you look like you have something to say.
That's the whole point.
I know, but that's what, I wasn't aware of this. So of course, for me,
to me, up to this point, little botches aside, this has been a pretty solid pay-per-view. Yep. I'm enjoying myself. I'm liking the direction.
Same here.
This match that we just finished was epic. Like,
yeah. It got me hyped up. It got me hyped up for it kept me going for the rest of the show. It honestly did. And then, which went into another good match right after that, was Joe versus Adam Cole.
Okay, so like I'll get my piece out of the way for this. I think this was a really good wrestling match from all technical aspects. Mm-hmm. It was too long. It was boring, and there was no story at all.
No. And I will state
this. And the interference was dumb. That was a really stupid
Bobby
thing
Fish,
to do, especially in an event where you're honoring a wrestler, to have interference be like the thing. I thought that was really weird. And it's funny because I have that written here, but I was watching a video today and someone had the exact same take as that. And I was like, okay, so I'm not crazy.
And I even have in my notes here, this was the 4th or 3rd match in a row that had outside interference.
Yeah. And it's like, this is a match honoring Owen Hart. I wanted to say Owen Wilson, but
it didn't make more sense afterwards when I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but when they were doing the trophy
presentation,
it didn't make more sense afterwards. Well, because of the fact that there was interference, and now they just broke the 4th wall, and now they're breaking character and all that stuff.
So,
but
exactly.
You have to understand. You can ask Campo. I literally said Adam Cole's going to win because he's wearing pink, and that was the color of the heart.
I called it. I want Adam Cole to go over. I think Adam Cole's one of the best wrestlers that exists.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it diminish Joe as a champion?
Yes.
But see, here's my whole situation. They literally showed it to you for both of these matches. Both of them were wearing pink. They were literally wearing the.
But he actually called it.
Once Adam Cole won, we knew who was going to win the women's tournament. That was telegraphed.
And well, we can get into that in a sec. But like, it's weird because Putty said that, and then I realized in the second match, I'm like, wait, they're both specifically wearing
pink and white
colors, and both people they're facing are not. And I'm like, isn't it like this was totally a setup? So they were already dressed in that outfit when they stood on stage. That's literally that's why it was done. So that when they were on stage, they were already wearing the pink and black.
Yeah, but in case Adam Cole does go over, it was nice to see Mike Chioda back.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good match, but it was so slow and boring.
It was slow, but it was technically sound. It was a very good. I was expecting a little bit more high spots.
This is not the match that you want at this moment, especially when the next match is what it is, and then you had that pause to do the thing, it was like, oh,
Well,
it took the air out of it. It deflated the whole the vibe in the arena.
Well, let's look at it this way, and this is the way I pretty much come up. Even though Jade Cargill's match wasn't really high flying or had all that element to it, when
it
you
was entertaining.
but when you go the House of Black and the Death Triangle match, and also maybe in kind of the Hardy Boys, even though it's not like what it used to be, when you're going to these matches where you have all these technical moves, and then you go to one that's more of a grounded wrestling, but then at the same time in your head you're like, dude, this is for something huge. It's a brand new thing called the Owen Hart Foundation thing. Like you expect
Owen Hart Foundation thing, is that what it's called?
Sorry,
Foundation thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know the charity. I don't know what it goes for exactly.
The Owen Hart Foundation tournament.
Yeah, the tournament. Yeah, sorry. But my point to the whole thing is, and I know we're jumping to like even with the next match and everything saying this, but the whole point is having these two wearing the pink. Literally, I guess I found out from Campo during a relationship too. Like it feels like it took
they kissed like 4 times on the stage.
It felt so diminished. Like when as a fan, especially someone like me that's new that doesn't know these characters, like I'm sitting here like even for me, I was like, even though I didn't know that relationship, like this didn't feel as epic as it should have been.
No, you're right.
The fact, like you said, they're both heels, and they give them this big babyface tournament win.
Yeah,
but Adam Cole is okay. They both were heels that were super over. They weren't bad heels.
No.
Britt Baker is kind of on the outs, in my opinion, in terms of popularity, where Adam Cole is like insanely popular still. Like you could see when Britt does the DMD now, there's barely any noise.
Yeah.
When people like, Adam Cole, baby, it's insane. When
or the boom, when he does the
Yeah.
boom, everybody says the boom, right?
Yeah.
So,
but I have a theory
I think Adam Cole winning is setting up for something that we'll discuss later in the show.
Yeah,
I just think he's one of the he's related to one of the Wilsons. You know what I mean? Owen Wilson.
He just
and
kept talking about that.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
couldn't
he looks
help
like
it.
Luke Wilson.
He does look like Luke Wilson. Tell me I'm wrong.
But he is super talented, and he deserved more than what he got in WWE. And let's hope he gets it here in AEW.
Yeah, because he got that shot against Hangman in the last pay-per-view, which was the best match of the night.
Of the night. That was match of the night.
And then since then, the Owen Hart tournament has kind of just took him out of all of the storyline picture. He's just been doing the tournament.
Yeah. I didn't like the belt design.
I
loved it.
I loved
really?
it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was one of the best belts.
I thought it was weird.
Yeah.
They both looked the same. There wasn't no really much difference to them. Like
one was more black, one was more pink.
I mean,
yeah, that's literally it.
And they can both put it on top of the mantle in their house now.
I like
that. I heard
spoiler, for the next match, but yeah, let's get into that then. The next match was the Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho. Britt Baker is played out by Fozzie's guitar player.
Forget about Fozzie's guitar player because Rancid was there, baby.
Freaking Rancid, baby! Oh my god,
so sick.
Like when I heard like
that
when he announced it
so much because she's gonna get so over now with that song. Well, the song was already good before, but like when they played it live and like the fans are gonna be behind Ruby Soho for a while. She's gonna become a big baby face.
And they were like singing it after they were done the song. They were still singing it, but I thought the song was more over than the match.
Yeah, it was. It's a great song. It's a classic.
So I'm gonna go first again just because I want to get this out of the way. I think once again this was a good technical match. There was a few little hiccups, but once again, there was no story. It was boring. Yeah. It was super slow. But in favor of this is the best match I've ever seen Britt Baker wrestle.
Yeah, and same thing with Ruby. Ruby, this is one of her best matches too. Like
there was not one major flub from Britt,
either.
Which even in both of the last 2 tournament matches before this, Britt had a huge flub on the finale both times. And I really I get it that the character's over and that she's popular, but like her whole angle, the
dentist,
her video package, her song, she still comes off like a low budget indie wrestler. She doesn't feel like a big star wrestler to me.
Yeah,
and she doesn't wrestle like that either. She's very mediocre in the ring. It's just her character is super over. But this was the best match I've seen her wrestle.
Yeah,
like maybe ever. And
the only real flub was when Ruby puts on the sharpshooter and they go and Excalibur is like, is it though?
Yeah, but it wasn't. And we see this happen again
later in the night.
We see it happen multiple times where someone puts a sharpshooter on someone and it's not a sharpshooter.
I literally
it's like
said,
some weird thing where they're like holding the legs, and I was like, what the hell? And then when Ruby Soho adjusted to fix it,
it still didn't look
she
right.
didn't fix it. She did the exact same thing again.
I even mentioned to Campo, I was like, that looks more like a figure four, like it was going for a figure four leg lock.
Yeah,
or a clover leaf.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know what you people are doing. You get that arm right under there, and you freaking
got to
hook
lift,
that baby.
and, yeah.
I put a lot of people in sharpshooters when I was a kid. Got in a lot of trouble.
This was right around the time when I asked the person, or like there was like another 3 people there, but one of them mentioned that Tony Khan purposely does not want to put the main event on while the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat were still playing. Like
really?
they were gonna wait until the game was done, and then you're gonna see the main event. And I'm like, looked at him, and then I looked at my watch. And I'm like, oh boy. Okay.
So do you think that's why they added in that Darby match?
Yeah.
Oh God, that one was
because the next 2. I think they could have done without the next 2 matches. To be honest with you,
100. Even maybe
the Rangers are about to win. Sorry. Okay.
But let's go into the next one because this next one was a pretty.
Okay, chill out for a second here.
Let's talk
here's my take on this. I just want to get this out of the way. So, Britt Baker won this match because they took the title off her, and Tony Khan knows that she's such an important piece of this company that they had to let her win something
and keep her in
this win.
Yeah, keep her in the spotlight.
Yeah, because I was saying that to Putty. This was a cop-out win because she did not deserve to win that match, and they gave it to her because they took the title. They had to give her something to keep her happy.
Yeah, because even Excalibur said all the momentum now is behind Ruby Soho with that entrance theme, right? Like, she's
so good.
Yeah, and it's like and
way more entertaining.
I hate to say it too. Like all these ex WWE guys now, WWE people are coming there, and they're like, even in the previous match, the House of Black match with Malachi Black, former Aleister Black in WWE.
That was his name, Putty.
And Buddy Murphy there, Buddy Matthews now. He was Buddy Murphy. He was a joke character. He was 205 champion in WWE. And now like he's in a bit more of a prominent role, like really able to showcase his talent, right? And I feel, but then again, like you said, these events seem to go on too long, even Revolution was a long event.
Yeah, and I think that they just haven't figured out in AEW yet how to properly plan out a pay-per-view. It's too many matches. They're too long each match. Like you could have removed out 3 of these matches easily, no problem. No one would have even noticed.
With the next 2 being 2 of them for sure.
Well, the next one is the worst match of the night by such a long shot that I'm embarrassed that anyone ever said that Sammy Guevara is a good wrestler. This was such an embarrassment of a match.
This is the American top team: Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, Paige Van Zandt, against Frankie Kazarian, Sammy Guevara, and Ty Conti. So basically, you have 5 heels and 1 babyface in this.
Yeah, but Paige actually, I liked every moment that she was in the ring.
Paige Van Zandt and Ethan Page too. This kid is going to be a star too.
Yeah, and I love that he's like kind of a secondary character for this whole time, and he's not really known for his wrestling, but he came out and looked great.
Yeah, Ethan Page, like go watch some of the stuff he did with Josh Alexander. They were like, I think they were called Team True North or something like that in Impact. They're both from Toronto, and like. These guys, like Josh Alexander is another guy. He's in Impact right now. I think he's their current champion, but this guy is like fantastic. And as a tag team, they were great. And Ethan Page has that charisma too that can take him a long way.
Oh yeah,
he has everything.
He can play a role, and that this is another thing. Okay, so like I don't want to just get through this. I want to talk about this match.
Also, Campo, you probably like that show he has on YouTube where he goes around from con to con.
He is the person that got me basically back or into AEW because through him I found Danhausen, and through that I found like all the matches and stuff, and that's what really got me back into it.
You guys, do you see the one where he goes around from cons and toy shops and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's what I watched.
We were having a conversation about that.
Yeah.
He has arguably the best toy vlog on all of YouTube at this moment.
Yeah, for sure. Him and Matt Cardona too.
Yeah, well, Matt's on his episodes with him.
Yeah. But Matt has his own.
Yeah, he has his own one now.
No, Matt always had it with Brian
Even
Myers.
Hornswoggle's one is pretty good too.
But I will say, as far as this match, here's my thing. This match was a mess, and to the point where, towards the end, I was only enjoying it because it felt like a joke. Because I actually was like, I was more enjoying it because of the laughable things. You know what I mean? For example,
I was laughing at it, not with it.
Yes, and say what you want. I was mostly there for the bums running around in the ring by the end of it because I didn't care about anything that was happening.
I liked when she got hit. I liked it was so sad to say that, but it's just
the thing
funny.
is, they want Sammy to be this great baby face, but he has go away heat right now. Nobody wants to see him.
He doesn't. I can't ever see him having come over here heat. He's always going to have go away heat because he doesn't know how to play a character. They've taken Ty Conti, okay, separated her from Anna Jay, which was probably going to be a really good women's tag team at some point. By doing that, you knocked Anna Jay back to dark. You've put Ty Conti in the limelight, and her and Sammy have been completely ruined by these new characters. They're so bad, the two characters that they're playing. It's not. So I want to explain this. It's not heels in terms of like, I don't like what's happening because they don't make me feel angry at them on the mic. They just suck. They're not physically imposing. They just suck. And it's like, they're just really, they come off as just sad and annoying. It's so embarrassing. They're like an NXT tag team. That's what they should be.
The thing is too, what I also hate is the story behind on how they got together. They each cheated on their respective spouses to be with each other. Sammy cheated on his wife, and Ty cheated on her husband with each other.
But that's what I'm saying. It feels like a troll. Like I have no idea who these two are.
Literally, this match felt like a troll.
Yeah,
like you were playing a joke on us.
And you can see Kazarian is like, what am I doing here? Like, this is beneath me. Like, you can see he didn't want to be part of it.
Why is Scorpio Sky here? He's a title holder.
I mean, the whole thing was if Scorpio Sky won, Sammy and Kazarian could never challenge for the title as long as...
Listen, if you, as good of a wrestler as he is, let's just say this right now. Until this character changes, you need to put Sammy Guevara on Dark. Okay, because I don't want this is so bad. Just get rid of this off my team.
At one point, they were considering Guevara as one of the 4 pillars of AEW, like the future. And I don't see that right.
With Darby and those guys for that little moment, I was really feeling that, and I do think he's a good wrestler. But this angle has completely ruined it for me. Ty Conti is so annoying. Like it's not.
Don't take your hands off my man. Take your that's all I heard.
It's not funny. It's just annoying.
It was annoying.
I'm going to say this.
I wanted Paige to punch her in the face for real so bad.
And the thing is, Paige is a former UFC champ. Like she's
actually surprisingly good in the ring at this point because she hasn't been previously.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. Here's the thing. Again, I always want to point out the whole thing about being new to AEW because of one reason. When I'm watching this stuff and everything, I'm still learning the storylines. So when you bring, like, again, you're wanting to always bring a new audience, especially if you're trying to take the WWE audience away from them and bring them to AEW. They've done a good job of that for me. But when it comes to like matches like this with all these characters, I literally know none of these characters. I am not enthralled. And for you to bring those two characters out and have them making out in a way that just makes me go, what the hell am I watching right now? Like it looked like a really bad YouTube soap opera that someone was trying to make.
And I was just like, is supposed to be like, look, we're really hot and you could never have us. And it's like, who the hell cares?
Who cares?
Exactly.
Like, what? Who cares?
And that's the point. Like, for example, the match between Death Triangle and House of Black, that drew me in. Things like that draw me in because it's a good storyline.
There was no good wrestling in this match.
Exactly. No. And that's my point is
the only time we saw any type of good wrestling was when Paige was in the ring. Ethan Page.
Yeah.
And see, this is where I'm seeing one thing with AEW, which is not bad, but in some ways can be, is when they bring out a storyline that's really good, it's really good. Then when they bring in a storyline that's really bad, it's really bad.
Really There's no in between.
There's
this
no
is
balance.
A very, very, very WWE character storyline from like 2011. That's exactly what this feels like with these characters.
Very much
so. Guy that was with who was on the same team as
Dan Lambert.
He did okay.
Oh, Kazarian.
Yeah, Kazarian is good.
Yeah.
He was all right. He was all right in this
But
match.
you could tell he didn't want to be there.
But it's like the way they're playing
because
this
he
match
felt
out.
like secondary.
Yeah.
The way they're playing this match out is like, Sammy can wrestle. Why isn't he doing any wrestling?
Mhm.
Why is this whole thing just them being two annoying fucks on the side of the ring?
Making out.
It's not funny.
He's basically they're basically making him out to be a fuckboy.
Yes, they think it's gonna be. They believe this angle is very funny, and it is not. It's annoying as hell. Get off my. I hope you both end up on Dark. And that's
even worse.
really
What's the other one? That's what's the other one? Yeah, Dark.
Elevation.
Right.
Dark Elevation.
Yeah. I rated this the lowest match of the night. This was
it was easily not even close.
I gave it 0.5 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it negative bad. 1 star.
No, -1. He's kind of cool.
Okay, -2.
All right, so enough of this match, this complete train wreck disaster of what it was. And then another match that was, and this is at this point, we're only like, was it 2/3 of the way through the show? It was the
we're
Darby
like 4 hours in at this point.
Yeah.
It's midnight.
This was the Kyle O'Reilly Darby Allen match. Luckily, this was one of the. Sorry?
It was a really good match.
It was a good match.
It was unnecessary.
I was actually starting to get annoyed at this point.
Okay. I'm going to say this right. Okay.
Let him go. Let him go, Putty.
Go ahead.
You sure? I mean, okay. But I just want to say this about this and I'll let it go. I know Darby Allen. When he walked into this ring, this Kyle O'Reilly, I had no idea who he is. He looks like he's one of those wrestlers that you set up to make the other wrestler look good in your regular events where it's just a filler. And it's just one of the, like Kyle O'Reilly does not feel like he feels like a career. I actually said this. He feels like the custom created wrestler you would see in a WWE game.
Even the name Kyle O'Reilly.
Exactly.
He was great.
But he's a good wrestler. He's fantastic. He's a great striker. He's
but just visually, his character.
Nick, what were you saying?
Oh no! Like because of the last match, I was actually starting to get annoyed with this one.
This is not the point where I got annoyed yet.
It kind of like, yeah. It just I was starting to get a little bit fed up like at this point. But it didn't need to be on here, regardless of whether it was good or not. And I saw it was pretty good, but
this could have main evented Dynamite. And I would have been great.
Like
with
I said,
that.
it was actually it was a good match, but it was unnecessary. It had no reason to be here.
And I just couldn't get over Kyle O'Reilly's back. Like, it was
like,
what the hell's
he always looks like that now. He keeps getting the cup therapy, and every match he looks like that.
Yeah, so I just
and the Kinesio tape is going wild in AEW. Everybody's in Kinesio tape.
Yeah, it works. I think they botched a few moves on this one too. Like there
was
Darby
that dive
dove head first into the floor.
Yes, and they kept saying, "Okay, let's replay that again," and they show the other replay.
Yeah, because they didn't want it. Khan probably was like, "Don't replay that."
Yeah, and okay, and then you hear like Jim Ross, "Okay, maybe we're not going to replay that," and Excalibur's like, "Yeah, I don't think we're replaying that one." It's like
he
dove right into the ground.
Yeah. Because
that's what rewound it.
Yeah, they tried to. I think because then he did that spot again. And he caught him in that standing front chancery, right? And he caught him in that. What are you laughing at, Caps?
No, you know what was so funny because when you brought that up, one of the buddies I was watching this thing with, when they did that spot, the first thing that came out of the guy's mouth was like, "Oh look, WCW NWO Revenge," when they reversed the spear. And,
yeah.
And it's like. Yeah, this just brought up a lot of memories and stuff.
That's actually true, though.
That is.
It was a good spot. It was a pretty
just
good
like
spot.
Kyle O'Reilly's Putty's creative wrestler. It's
so.
But I mean,
but other than that, it was okay.
Like the thing is too, Kyle O'Reilly had once everybody like after Adam Cole and Bobby Fish left WWE NXT, Kyle O'Reilly had a decent singles run. He had a couple of good matches against Adam Cole, but he'll always be known as a tag team wrestler with Bobby Fish, right? Dragon
was good in the ring.
Yeah, but like you said, though, good match. Didn't need to be here. The coffin drop off the apron was kind of cool, though. The springboard, yeah.
This is where I so the last match I was like, I wasn't out of it yet, but I was like getting to the point where I was like, something needs to happen. And this match kind of gave me some hope. I was like, okay, it didn't need to be here, but at least we're getting entertaining again. We're going in the right direction. And then this match happened. An absolutely fantastic technical match. The most boring match of the whole night.
Which one?
Putty,
the Rosa?
The Thunder Rosa
And Serena Deeb?
Crackhead Deeb. And
the one who needs to eat a sandwich.
And if you didn't say, Kyle O'Reilly won that last one too.
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly, which that was surprising too. Kyle O'Reilly went over.
Yeah, he did. It was a good match. He's a good wrestler.
But I was surprised. I thought they were kind of like, I thought they were going to play to like, oh, this is revenge for like hurting Sting kind of thing. And they didn't even bring it up.
Campo brought that up, and I actually had no idea what he was talking about, and I still didn't until they even bring it again. Like, I had no idea there was, because that's another problem.
Didn't they show a replay of it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
No, they didn't.
That's
I thought
my point.
They did at the beginning.
For someone like me, I didn't know that storyline was there, so I just saw Darby Allen facing off a generic wrestler, and that's the problem. It didn't have that strength to it at that point because I had no idea what was going on. So if you would have brought Sting in there, I'd be like, oh, what's going on here? And then it brought some interest to it. Not bringing Sting into it just made me go.
Well, he couldn't. He's legit hurt.
No,
he couldn't fly. Yeah.
I get it, but I'm just saying that's going to hurt something like for something like me that has no idea what's going on. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Going back to what you're saying, Campo, the next match, boring, great technical match.
Absolutely. Fantastic. I don't know the last time we've seen two women in a pay-per-view at least this year have a technical match like this. It was great, but it was so slow and boring. And I'm sorry, I understand that it's like I'm like playing a double. I'm going against what I'm saying, but it was just like, you can't do great ring work but have a boring match. Then they negate each other. It's like it doesn't matter.
It counteracts it.
And like Serena Deeb is always being talked about like she's this amazing, insane wrestler. I have no idea who she is. Number one. Number two, she's so weak. She couldn't even lift Thunder Rosa's legs. She couldn't even lift them up.
Yeah. She was the one that nice Putty. I'm a wizard.
I was saving it.
Serena Deeb was the one 10 years ago in WWE when CM Punk had the Straight Edge Society and he started shaving.
She was the one with the shaved head?
She was the one with the shaved head. And then she was caught at a bar, so they fired her. That's the whole story behind it. With her and
because she wasn't being straight edge, I get it.
Right. So she wasn't keeping the kayfabe character. They caught her at a bar, and it's like, well, goodbye.
But like the in-ring work was good. It was more.
And the thing is, like, it's nice to see that they're not focusing on just like the new, like, these women are also like, I hate to say it because they are a little older. Like, I think Serena Deeb's over 40, isn't she?
I think so.
And Thunder Rosa's got to be in her mid to late 30s as well.
Thunder Rosa's such a good wrestler.
She is fantastic.
Oh my God.
And it just goes to prove that some of these women can still hang with the younger talent, like, and sometimes even be better than the younger talent. Like, I've been watching Thunder Rosa for at least a good 2-3.
Serena Deeb is 35. Anyways, she locked in a sharpshooter, I think it was, or a clover.
Another one, yeah.
And she couldn't lift up her legs. And I was like, what is happening? Like,
the move I liked was the one Thunder Rosa put on her, that pendulum.
Yeah, that was amazing. But like, how do you put, like, I'm trying to do it with the legs. If your knees are like this, touching the ground, completely touching the ground, how are you doing a move? All she was doing was like bending up the front part of her legs. I was
like, sitting on her, basically.
Yeah. And it was like, that took me out of the match right at that moment. I know it ended shortly after that, but I was like, okay, I'm done with this. And I'm like, I'm not trying to sound like a dick about it.
No.
But it's like, she does not even look like she should be in a wrestling ring. I'm sorry. Like, she's very ripped, but she's so skinny and it looks like she could get hurt.
Yeah. She looks like she has no power behind her moves.
Yeah. But the like holds work in the ring was good. Yeah. And I really like Thunder Rosa. I didn't care. I didn't care about this match at all. The build to this match sucked.
Yeah, because it's been done already. Like, this is not the first time we've seen it. But moving on.
What do you have to say?
About the Thunder Rosa?
you guys pretty much said everything, man. Like, it was.
I'm sure Caps was at this point. He's faded out, and
I started to fade out a little bit.
I think Campo,
Yeah.
we could tell from me and everything. If it wasn't for the next match, I was almost at the point of dozing.
You could tell from me. He kept asking me, "Are you awake?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Don't worry, I'm here.
Well, after this match was the point where I took it from the basement to the guest room to watch it in bed because I knew. Sorry.
Sorry, no, go
No, I was going to say, because if I fell asleep watching it in the basement on the couch, I'd kick myself because I had to go to work the next morning.
If I tried to lie down and watch this match,
nope, don't do that.
Freak out. I was literally like, if I could stand up and jump, I would have been for this whole match.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the next one?
Let's move on to that one. What did Justin Roberts say? He just like
about to get real.
Yeah. He goes, or was it real or crazy?
No, just about to get fucking crazy. I think he actually said,
say the F word.
Brian said the F word, but not. But
and
he just shakes his head and he goes,
he said,
JR
about to hit the fan?
Yeah, shit's about to hit the fan. That's what he said.
Before he said, I don't give a he's like, this kid's saying, I don't give a shit, kid.
By the way, we figured out one thing. I love JR to death, but he's starting to look like Boss Nass from Phantom Menace.
Exactly. Me like.
He doesn't even talk like Jar Jar.
Oh, Boss Nass. But yeah, this was the Anarchy in the Arena match. It was a shit show. In a good way, though. In a good way. This is a throwback to those old ECW bingo hall matches, like with New Jack and the Dudleys and that type of like. This was better than that one we watched where Sting almost killed himself when he went through the table.
Well, this is way better. Not even close. The only part of this that was bad was the period when Moxley got sprayed with this fire extinguisher. There's like a 5-minute span where nothing happens.
Yeah, because his face was frozen.
Yeah, but like after that, there's like Danielson's in the ring.
Yeah,
and nothing.
Like Danielson, it looked like Danielson was legit pissed when he got sprayed with the fire extinguisher.
Yeah,
and there's also the point.
What the hell?
And there's a point where Moxley is actually using a fork on a guy's head, which was just amazing. You know what I mean?
Which when they finally showed the replay of what actually happened, he was going like this on the guy's head.
What's really funny is whole thing. I find it funny through the whole thing. We have Chris Jericho in there, and not one time do we not get a fireball involved.
Yeah, no fireball. Where were the fireballs?
Where was this fireball?
That guy was bleeding. Yeah, and there was a part where they were in the they were upstairs in like the concourse, and I think it was what's that guy's name? Cool Hand.
What's his name?
Cool Hand Ange.
Angelo Parker.
And
the mustard.
And so they were like, something was going on there, and like, I know it's a match, so they know, but like they just started feeding it to each other for real, and then he put the thing around his neck and started dragging him, and
that's when they went into the merch stand, right?
Yeah. So I've actually watched this. I watched all the matches I liked again today, but when he's doing that today, you realize, okay, but in the moment, I was like, he's angry at him. They were fucking going for real. And
he was legit choking
him across the floor with his belt on.
Yeah. It was an
Eddie
insane match.
There was a moment where Eddie Kingston was like, this is getting too real. The point where, when he walks away and I think he tried to go back to the ring, or they ended up in the elevator or something.
The freight elevator, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, you could see that he was like, he didn't know what to do. He's like, this is getting too real right now.
Like, if it literally felt like they were actually fighting. Like, it kept my immersion in there. Like, and that's what I loved about it. This I think this to me was match of the night. If you want to, it was the event of the night.
Yeah. It was the best part.
Yeah,
like if you were just going to be like, what was the most entertaining thing? Jesus, this was crazy. Yeah, and the finish was crazy too.
Yeah, it looked like the camera was struggling to show what it wanted to show because it was just so much to go on.
Whoever was in gorilla position was having a lot of trouble deciding what to look
or
at.
When Daniel Bryan is like smashing what's his name, Matt Menard's face into the camera, like you see the close-up of the
they stayed in that one spot in the arena where the seats were covered for like the first 30% of the match. It didn't even move. They stayed in the exact same spot. I was like, what the hell is happening?
Jericho pokes Moxley in the eye with the sunglasses, then he puts them on with like the one lens missing.
That was great. Except the getting on the little ride cart thing was so stupid because you even see Jericho trying to turn it on for him, thinking they were going to cut.
When they brought out the gasoline, and they were pouring the gasoline.
I was freaking out.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tim.
that's the
What's his
part
name?
where
Tony
Danielson
Schiavone's
got
like,
freaked out.
what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, that's the part where Danielson freaked out. But when they brought out the gasoline, of course we're thinking that it's water or whatever. But we're kind of like also thinking to ourselves, we really hope that Jericho doesn't throw a fireball because the gasoline and the fireball is just like exploding into the ring.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to point out
That was a great moment, though.
Yeah. The other one thing I want to point out is I don't ever want to hear Wild Thing ever friggin' again.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
I was getting so annoyed. I'm like,
Can somebody shut the
turn this
damn
shit
music
off.
off?
Hold on. The first playthrough when the match was just starting was amazing.
Because it got the crowd hyped. But the thing is, it's not even the actual song; it's a cover of it.
Yeah.
And then
I think it's like the Major League version.
Is it?
I love how out of nowhere, I can't explain it like Campo did, but I love how out of nowhere there's a moment with some chairs. You want to explain that, Campo? You're so much better at
So John Moxley grabs a row of chairs and pulls it out because he's going to do a move on it. And then a fan grabs the chairs and pulls all the chairs back to the other side. And they had to readjust the whole move to like turn around the corner to land back on the chairs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I rewound it to show Putty. I'm like, look, someone's grabbing the chairs and pulling them back.
Yeah, there was one part where Moxley and Jericho were fighting on a scooter.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Talking
It looks
about.
so
and Jericho
weird.
tried
Was
to
trying to turn it on for him,
thinking that it was going to cut away, and they didn't cut away.
Yeah.
They didn't cut away, and
No,
it just
that's
so stupid.
I really like that ladder spot with Santana and Ortiz.
That was great. Listen, Santana and Ortiz are sick. I
Underrated.
didn't even know anything about them coming into this. That they were so cool in this match. When he came out with the bulletproof vest and the kendo stick, I was like,
Yes.
"Oh, this is it."
I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm in. Yeah, and yeah, I think this got me back into the show.
Yeah.
Like this woke me back up.
The move that they did where he held him up like a power bomb and Santana jumped over and did like a neck breaker through the table.
Yes,
that was sick.
Well, even when Moxley went into the barbed wire, like even though we know that it probably isn't as bad as it is, he made it look.
They were picking the barbed wire out of him for a while. It took them a while to get.
They kept him there for a while, and that's why I think the finish ended the way it did.
But I like that finish. It was sick that he passed out from the
he didn't tap out. That's
in the beginning of this match. They made the Jericho appreciation society that have been the biggest thing in wrestling for 11 weeks. They made them seem like pussies or something. But the way that match ended was like hard as fuck. Like they were going hard. They did not stop.
Being choked, and those ring ropes, they're not forgiving. They hurt.
I'm really excited to see this angle continue.
Yeah.
I think it's I was like looking at my friends. I'm like, is Cesaro going to show up? Is Cesaro going to show up?
I really wanted Wheeler Yuta in this match. I'm so mad that he wasn't here. Is Wheeler injured?
I think Wheeler's hurt. Yeah, not a big injury.
I would have loved to have seen him in this match.
What was Regal? Regal wasn't there, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No.
But neither was their guy.
What do you mean?
Didn't they have a guy with them? No. Well, didn't they have a guy with Jericho's team too that was acting like a manager, kind of?
No,
maybe I'm making something up
that's
in my
the guy. The guy who used to be part of the. With Dan Lambert.
Dan Lambert, that's right. Yeah.
American Top Team or whatever.
Jericho has literally, in like the last 3 years, started off a new group like 4 times, and it's been good every time.
Yeah, I mean, and the man is 50. The man is 50.
Yeah, and you could see it in this match. He was trying to make sure everyone was protected.
Yeah.
And
the only thing that kept taking me out of the match is Jericho's bald spot.
Yeah, I mean, he made sure this match was fun. He kept this match fun, and he made sure nobody got hurt.
But everybody looked like a star in this match too. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. They turned a bunch of guys that nobody cared about and made them look like stars. That I'll just rewatch that one moment of Kingston and the other guy just feeding it to each other.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch that over and over.
And these are guys like those guys, Angelo and Matt. Those two guys, they used to be in NXT as well as 2.0.
Yeah, this was a great match. I messaged you. What did I say?
Who, to me?
Yeah, what did I say to you? I'm like, that was art.
That was art.
See, before moving, I just want to state this.
That was pure art.
I know I'm trolling about the picture because there's gonna be a lot of people like, what's going on with that? Look up Chris Jericho.
I'll have that link down in the because I'm a wizard.
Have it linked because it's a big deal, and why it's a big deal to me because it reintroduces Chris Jericho in a way that I'm happy about, and the reason for that is this. Chris Jericho's always been a silly type of wrestler. You know what I mean? Like WWE never knew how to really let him shine. And since I've come to AEW, they rekindled.
I don't know. The list thing was pretty good. Just a little long.
Pretty good. WWE.
But I'm saying is, yeah, there was a point he was. Then it felt like he kind of dropped. Yeah, but then it felt like he dropped off. Like Vince is like, "What? I'm done with you. Let's move on."
Because he's an old man.
Well, I feel like AEW is letting him do his thing properly to where it's rekindled what I love.
He doesn't have the restrictions that he had in WWE. We're gonna let you do it, but you're gonna do it on our terms.
The fact that they're doing it at all between like him and Sting, among other people, Dustin, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Just let it ride. Yeah.
And I love it. I'm loving it.
Wait, and
the thing is, he keeps reinventing himself and keeping the character fresh.
Yeah, it's true. And that's what I'm saying. He keeps changing groups, and every group he has is a hit.
Yeah.
Is this the big pay-per-view for AEW? Like, what's their like WrestleMania?
I thought it was all in.
Is it? That's
but that's the thing too. Revolution was just as long. Not as many matches.
But like,
maybe
what's their one that is like the big one? Like everyone, they don't have one yet.
I don't think they have one yet.
No,
they have one yet.
Listen, I'm excited for the next one, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That one's the Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
That's gonna be insane. I'm looking forward to the
happy to drop $50 on that.
Fantasy matches there. But yeah, this was so much fun. I really liked it, and Jericho surprisingly goes over. Like Hagar had Jericho put the walls on Daniel Bryan, and Hagar had like the ring ropes tied around Bryan's neck, and they just kind of like strangled him.
And this win made them look so good, but also didn't make the other guys look bad.
Nope.
And they got the ring back together in record time. It was like
3.5
minutes
because they only did like 2-3 promos, and then they did the Andrade spot because Andrade was off becoming the fourth husband to Charlotte Flair. I think he's the Charlotte's fourth husband.
So she's just like her dad.
Yep. She's only 30 and this is her fourth husband. But they posted, she posted on her Instagram, "I just married the love of my life."
I'm sure Vince is not happy about that.
Yeah. It posted on WWE actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think obviously this was pre-taped, and they're bringing in one of ROH's biggest star in El Toro Blanco Rouge.
Who?
Go watch. He was champion until he lost to Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah,
I think. Who Jonathan Gresham? Go watch some of his stuff.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, but so they introduced that, and then they had the Scorpio Sky promo, and this is where I think they're going next with Scorpio Sky is Dante Martin.
Well, this is a really weird thing. Like Dante Martin is good, but he's very reminiscent of Sammy, where he's not the greatest at playing a character yet, and you're already throwing him into this title picture, and I think you're going to ruin him because once he loses, if he's just going to get pushed into obscurity again.
Back on Dark.
Yeah.
And then by that point, they already had the ring back together. They cleaned up all the shit that was on the side of the ring within like 10 minutes.
It's like crazy. WWE never would have pulled that off.
No, they would have still had a broken ring at that point. But we go into another really good match, which was the 3-way tag match.
Oh, fantastic. And I told you, I'm not a big fan. I don't want 3-on-3 tags. I don't want triple team tags.
But when it involves the Jurassic Express, Keith Lee, Powerhouse, even Starks was good in this match.
Buddy, friggin' Luchasaurus pulled off like the craziest offense for like 2 minutes straight where he was just pummeling everybody.
And I made a note of this too. Luchasaurus, for such a big dude, is so agile. Him and Keith Lee. The agility of these two men.
Yeah, the Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. I'm not really too interested in them, even though they did really well in this match.
Ricky Starks is the least interesting person in this whole thing for me.
But I mean, between both Jungle Express and Swerve and Keith Lee,
Swerve
I want to see Swerve.
A month ago, you were like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Well, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing him in the ring. He's crazy. Their finisher thing
Yeah.
Keith Lee and Swerve, I just want to see them go up against Jungle Express by themselves. That right there would be a match.
When he did that moonsault off of Keith Lee's chest.
Yeah, man. Holy crap. And it's like they mesh together. Like, I can't believe they haven't been together that long. Like the stuff they do is insane.
And
I have a feeling.
I noticed about the dynamic too. Each team had that one smaller guy, which is the high flyer, and they had the
Campo
one
literally
big.
Said that.
Yeah.
Because at one point when all three big guys were in the ring, it's like, ooh, like people were starting to see big money here.
Here's my thing. I know Jurassic Express has had the belts for the longest time, but I'm be very honest with you. If they end up losing the belt to anyone, I feel like Swerve and Keith Lee are the two people that people would be all behind. Like, all right, we're okay with this.
You know that meme of Vince McMahon when he's like, when it's supposed to be Stacy Keibler, and he keeps making funny faces. It's like Lucha got her. What's his name?
Luchasaurus.
Luchasaurus gets in the ring and he gets happy. Then Keith Lee gets in the ring and gets happier. And then Hobbs gets in and he's like, oh, like that's like his dream. This is his dream to have three guys that are that big.
The thing is, he had those two guys at one time.
He's an idiot.
He had those two guys at one time. Luchasaurus.
We're not saying he's good at what he does. I'm saying he would like this.
Yeah, because Luchasaurus was originally supposed to be the part of the Wyatt family. It was supposed to be Luke Harper, Bray Wyatt, and not Luchasaurus, but that I forgot his name, but he was supposed to be part of that until they decided to go with Eric Rowan instead.
Sick. And his mask is so sick. But I love the story of this match, and I love the story that's building when Christian puts Jungle Boy on his shoulders at the end of the match. Spoilers, they win.
Yeah, they win.
Which was a great ending, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
When he puts him on his shoulders, you see Lucha look up like he's mad. He doesn't like the relationship that's building. When Jungle Boy went out to help Christian, Lucha got mad that he went out to go help Christian after Christian got hit.
Oh, what was that? There was that 1-6 spot too, where was it? Keith Lee, he power bombs Jungle Boy on top of Luchasaurus's back.
We had twice.
Yeah. Like there were some good spots. Like and
that's funny. Putty was literally like, "Where's Luchasaurus? Looks like he's been out of the match for a long time. They must be writing him off." Then 2 seconds later, he comes in and pummels everybody.
But it was. I think this match though, it a little bit. I got to take a little bit away from it because the crowd at this point was like exhausted.
It was, but this match was still good.
Yeah. And Jungle Boy's theme song, I can't get over how over that song is.
Well, I'm going to say this.
Everything just got forced. I think it was a kind of forced at this point in terms of keeping the crowd into it.
Well, I'm going to say this. The last few matches are good, but here's my thing. If you would have took away the American Top Team match, the match with Darby Allen, and the match with Thunder Rosa, if you would have took those three out, replaced it with these three, limit the time a little bit, there would have been so
You can't take out the Thunder Rosa match because it's a women's world title.
Well, I get
the Jade Cargill match.
You could have taken out the Jade. Originally, that Jade Cargill match was supposed to be on the pre-show. I don't know why they moved it.
And I called you when I went to go to my house to change, and I'm like, the show starts in 10 minutes, and there hasn't even been a match on the pre-show because I rewound all the way back.
Yeah.
And then when I came back, Putty's like, "Oh, the match happened."
Yeah, but it's like originally it was supposed to be 2 pre-show matches.
Yeah.
But
once again, how do you put a title match on a pre-show? You can't.
But to be honest, that TBS title really doesn't mean anything yet.
But it will. And this is my thing before we get into this last match because we got to get this thing going. But they don't have any lower tier titles. The FTW is the only low tier title in the whole organization.
That means something.
But they need to have another low tier men's title. They need to have a women's tag title. You have to introduce both of those because they have so many women. It's so bloated. They need women's tag titles.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because there's none of these great wrestlers are going to get. Riho's never going to get another shot at a women's title.
No. Can you imagine a team between Riho and what's her name there? Sakuraki or
Sakazaki.
Sakazaki.
They're already they wrestled together all
the
time.
But can you imagine them with a good run as the women's tag team champ?
You need something like that. You do. You really do. Even that other team with the Queen girl and I forget their names. One of them's an Asian girl and she dressed like a queen, and the other one's supposed to be like native.
Nyla Rose and with Vicky Guerrero there.
Yeah, and they're like a great heel team because they're actually funny what they do.
Yeah. But
So,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, Jurassic Express, they go over as they should.
Mhm.
But I agree with Putty on that one. I think I would love to see a 2-on-2 like traditional tag team match between Keith and Swerve against Jurassic
Oh,
Express.
absolutely.
And for example, if they do this whole storyline that Campo was bringing up, or you guys both remember about the doo-doo, about Christian Cage and the whole thing, if they decide to actually make like a what do you call it? Make some kind of like
To split
rivalry
them?
between.
Yeah.
If they were to split them and the tag team belts are going to anyone else, again, give it to Keith Lee and him, because I feel like they have shown
they're going to win. They're going to take the titles. It's going to happen.
And it's going to be Christian. I think Christian is going to be involved in it. He's going to be the catalyst for them losing the belts.
Or Luchasaurus is going to think that he is the catalyst for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and then have a good heel run with Luchasaurus. Oh, so good.
Let's blast through this bit.
Let's blast. Okay. Last match of the night. Best in the world against Cowboy Shit. CM Punk versus Adam Paige.
So this was a match between the best wrestler in AEW and CM Punk. And you know what? This was a fantastic match.
It was a great match.
CM Punk's ability to tell a story is amazing. The storytelling in this match is so good. The way they played off each other is amazing, but CM Punk's inability to hit that buckshot lariat like 4 times was really sad.
Yeah.
And the crowd did not like it. There was at least 6 spots in this match total that the crowd did not like what CM Punk did, which is crazy because when he won, they went mental.
Yeah.
Well, see, it's funny because when we first started this, and I saw you wearing the CM Punk shirt, which if you want to show it again, and I knew but I knew Campo doesn't like CM Punk, so I knew going into this match that they already told me he did not like it. But I will say there were so many things that makes me proud. Like we both noticed it when Adam Page went down and fell on his leg, and the whole time he was like, you could tell that wasn't.
He was selling it. He was selling his leg, and that's what I enjoy, selling the injury.
Yes.
Yeah, and Punk did it too. And their work together in the ring, this was like a perfect storm of events.
Mm-hmm.
And it just came way too late. It was too slow paced of a match.
It picked up at the end. It started really slow.
For a match that if you're going to have a really long, drawn out final match for a title, especially when it's a slower paced one that's telling a story, you can't have a crap load of long matches before it. Like WWE does a good job of that, of making sure that their main event is the main event.
And it's the pacing.
They got out main evented like 3 times before this, and by the time we got here, everyone was dead. We saw this at Revolution. Adam Cole and Hangman was a wasted match because everyone was dead when we got there.
And the same thing happened with this. I think that's why they pulled the trigger with the title change. Spoiler, CM Punk goes over. He's the new champion.
Yeah, I think they recognize that with WrestleMania, it being so long, so they broke it down to 2 nights instead. They might have to consider doing this if they're going to go this route of just putting these many matches on a pay-per-view for AEW. They may want to consider breaking it down to 2 nights.
I think they should just go monthly.
Here is my opinion on this match. I didn't like the match. I thought the botches absolutely just brought the match down. I thought that the wrong person won over, and because of the fact that CM Punk went over, which if that's what they want to go with, that's fine. It makes Hangman Page's title run insignificant. That's how I felt coming away from this match, because they could have maybe gone a couple more matches with these 2 guys and worked together and then maybe think about a title change. But I just felt as though the work that Hangman Page put in for that little bit with Cole and everyone else, and
Hangman feels like a transitional champion.
Yeah, it just made his title run insignificant. And I think there's other wrestlers that are more deserving than CM Punk at this point. My opinion.
I think
that's how I felt.
And I can agree with you on that, because as we saw, like, it's not that he can't go. He his ability to tell a story. That's what got me with this match. It was the storytelling, like a lot of the botches and stuff. But you could see that even physically, he doesn't look like how he used to. He doesn't look very in shape.
No,
absolutely.
He completely he really botched some of those
really bad.
What's the move called when he does the face thing? GTS.
the GTS. Yeah,
He botched his own move.
Yeah.
He botched his own finisher, and he dropped him. And it was like,
I thought that the way to go is Hangman Page doesn't need to cheat in order to win.
but I love that. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was fine. But then I would have had him do his move and get the 1, 2,
I agree
3.
with you. The fact that he did that and CM Punk won kind of felt weird, but it also let a story go. And if you want my opinion, what's going to happen next? They're going to have a rematch, and
they're going to have a
Hangman's
rematch. And yeah, he's going to get the belt back.
Well, here's my thing. Here's the thing.
You really think so?
Yeah.
You honestly, you think that CM
Even though
Punk
there's
is only
more,
gonna be champion
even though there's
couple
more,
weeks?
there's more matches to be had with Punk though.
Here's my
But
thing.
you honestly think that they're gonna have him
No,
like
I just
flip
think
flop
that
the title?
in this,
I
in
don't know.
this,
Just I'm asking.
in
I
this
don't know.
scene right now for this specific title, there's really only two guys. It's CM Punk and Hangman because Kenny Omega's not coming around anytime soon.
I could see CM Punk versus Cole.
Maybe Cole. Maybe
I could
Cole.
see
Yeah,
CM
but
Punk
then
versus
doesn't that-
Bryan.
Does that make
I
any
don't
sense
like
for Cole?
Bryan.
Because Cole lost to Hangman. Now you're getting a shot at CM Punk.
Unless
I don't
this is
know,
where,
just-
unless this is where you bring Cesaro in.
Maybe.
Well, here's
That's a
my thing.
slap to
Or is
the
this where
face of
Kenny
the other
Omega just shows up
rosters.
again and wins?
That's a slap to the face to the rest of the roster. You're gonna bring a new person in and give him a title. I don't know.
But Kenny
it's,
Omega owns the company. That's like the way that they play with him.
Yeah.
They just bring him in, he wins a huge match, and then they're like, okay, bye, I'm leaving.
it's a crazy way to go.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Go, Putty. Tell me what
Yeah,
you have to say, Putty.
I've got to say this. Okay, here's the thing. For me, as someone again that's new to AEW, one thing they brought up to me that I was not aware of was, and it's a good storyline that was driven there that no one really brought up since you guys are bringing this up, was the whole thing about how CM Punk is an outsider and Adam Page is someone that's been with the company,
Homegrown talent. Yeah.
So here's my thing. When I was first watching this, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I even asked, you can ask Campo, I even asked this, I said, is he a heel or a babyface? Because here's the thing, I was thinking that they would, Adam Page.
Okay.
Because the reason is this, okay? They kept on saying Adam Page is like he deserves to keep it. Even Adam Page is saying that he deserves to keep it. He's original. That belt needs to stay with somebody that's been with the company since the beginning, not some outsider. Here's my thing. For me, I feel like the reason that CM Punk got it is because they're going for more the edgy title holder now. They want to make sure somebody has that edge to it. But at the same time,
It's also name value too.
Exactly. Someone that's well known. But my problem is this. If you want me to recognize Adam Page, even as a newcomer, you're already throwing out to me that he's been with it from the beginning. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so what this sounds like they're doing, what it felt like to me, the way it was going was that CM Punk was going as the good guy and then Adam Page is going as the bad guy. That's what it felt like when they were announcing that part. Then we get to the point where he's about to cheat, and then he doesn't cheat because I figured, okay, this is where he's going to show his heel. And then he doesn't cheat, so then he feels like a babyface. It conflicted me so much because I, as a newcomer, felt Adam Page should keep it because CM Punk is the outsider. But then when he won it, I was like, I don't understand where they're going here. Am I supposed to be against Adam Page, or am I supposed to be on his side for being the true grown or the
homegrown talent?
Okay, so
Exactly.
I want to ask a question. JD probably will have the best answer. Do you think that this was a spot called during the match? Do you think
the title change?
Yeah.
The title
No
change?
way.
No, this was planned. This was always the plan to go.
Yeah.
They want Punk as champion in Chicago when they do Forbidden Door.
They meaning Khan.
That makes so much sense. Now we just understand. I don't know why we didn't think about that from the beginning. That's the whole thing, right?
That
there.
was my rationale behind Punk becoming champion. Now think about it. Like, what if I want to see Punk as your AEW champion against Okada? Like,
I was just gonna say that. Let's go, Punk Okada. I'm down.
Punk Okada, or even the Battle of the GTS. Do Punk versus Kenta?
Oh, who's the guy that is it Kenta? Who's the guy that fought Samoa Joe in like the semifinals or the quarterfinals of the
That's Ishii, isn't it? Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, he's friggin' amazing.
Yeah,
Like not one single mistake for the whole match.
yeah.
You ask if I'm surprised by this title change. I'm not.
No.
No.
Tony Khan is so high on CM Punk. He literally cried at a press conference talking about the guy. I'm not surprised by this title change. And
because to him,
you know,
getting CM Punk, a guy who's never coming back to wrestling, to come back,
but I think
is a big
CM
thing.
Punk is a real wrestler's wrestler, and he knows how to tell a story. And I think he knows better than to keep this title for a long time.
Yeah,
I know, guys, but
he's going to use it to put somebody over.
I think so. I really think that he's at the Bret Hart phase of his career where he just wants to help people get put over. I don't see him that selfish.
Yeah. He's going to get the next, like, think about it. Like, you're going to have Punk as your champion going into Forbidden Door in Chicago, his hometown, as the AEW champion. The pop on that building, which is already one of the loudest buildings in the world. Like, the United Center has always had that thing behind it, that they're one of the loudest buildings, even in the NHL, right? So, and that's what I'm thinking. And then at what's the next one after that? I'm guessing it's All In.
It could be. Yeah. I'm not sure.
And then I think they'll do the build up to All In, and for Adam Page to become the first 2-time AEW champion. It'll legitimize. I think it'll legitimize by beating a legend such as CM Punk, legitimize Adam Page as a true superstar.
I see one or two things happening. Okay. I see, because you're right. I think what it is, they want to have CM Punk to have the belt when they go over to the Chicago event. Okay. Then what I see what happening is he keeps his belt. He keeps the belt then. Then what happens is either Adam Page wins it back, or as you said, as you guys said, or I think Campo, you're the one who said it, he's used to pump up another wrestler, but someone that's actually directly from AEW. So that way Adam Page can be like, at least it went to somebody that was homegrown with AEW.
Yeah.
So that way it leaves the homegrown area, goes to CM Punk. CM Punk gets a little moment to shine in his hometown. Then we go back and everyone's like, oh, finally it's back to where it needs to be. And that kind of gives it that fuel.
I think Punk, this is his last run, and I think this is his last run with a belt, and I think he's going to be retiring soon again. I don't think he's going to be here much longer. So last match of the night, with that out of the way, let's get our matches of the night from you guys and give us a rating. I'll start. Campo, you're right below me. Let's start with you. Which one was your match of the night, and what was your rating of the show?
Okay, this is really hard.
Out of 10.
Out of 10, I'm going to say it was a 7.5, because I'm going to rate it on individual matches and not the fact that it took a long time for the pay-per-view to get done. The best match was the 3-on-3 tag match between Penta, whatever, and
the Malachi Black, the House of Black.
Took mine away.
But I would say the hype match was definitely the anything goes match.
Yeah, the Anarchy in the arena. Yeah. Caps.
Everything that Campo said, pretty much dead on. I would say 7.5 out of 10.
It was better than Revolution.
There wasn't anything epic about any of these matches, but for entertainment value, the anything goes match was probably the match of the night for me. When I look at what was that match you just described?
The House of Black against Death Triangle.
Yeah, as that was a really great match, but I would not say that it was as good as them versus the Young Bucks. A couple pay-per-views ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I didn't like. It's I would say 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
and best match was the Anything Goes.
Yeah.
So that's this is.
Well, I'm gonna again. I feel like people are gonna say it's still in Campos, but I'm just gonna say it again. I have my favorite wrestler now. It's Penta Oscuro. Number one for me is House of Black versus Death Triangle. But again, it's hard because the one with Jericho in it was such an amazing match. But I feel like it's more of an event. It was more exciting as far as matches with like physical things. That one was mine all around. And I'm actually going to give it an 8 because it's my second pay-per-view with them, and it outshined Revolution in my eyes, 100%. Like Revolution introduced me.
On this one.
Revolution introduced me. This made me go, you know what? WWE could go themselves. I'll maybe occasionally catch stuff, but I wish to God.
Well, I mean, let's hope you're still going to watch the pay-per-view with us.
Well, I'm still going to watch it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to. But see, the problem is, and Caps, you actually said before, when I sit here and watch this event, and you were talking about how it had to be split like they did at WrestleMania, even if they split this, even with them not splitting this up, this pay-per-view was better than WrestleMania combined and Backlash all in one, in my eyes.
Because this card was stacked. This card was stacked.
It was stacked just like those, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like,
but I would still put Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash, a little higher, and I'm sure Campo would agree.
There was not one match in this card. I mean, in Backlash's card that was even remotely as close to as bad as that tag match with Sammy Guevara.
I don't know, almost a wrestler and Bobby.
Yeah, but that was still better. At least it was a real match.
Yeah, but
I agree with you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the consensus of everybody else as well. 7.5. Like I said, it's losing points because of... Sorry, Caps was like doing something. It's like
just like some dust over here.
You look like you're doing something else instead of that.
Hey,
Cap. That's all I say.
But yeah, 7.5. It lost points because it was too long. Once again, if I got to go as a pure wrestling match, I'm going with the House of Black against Death Triangle. That's the consensus. But the most entertaining thing of the night was the Anarchy in the Arena match. I just had so much fun. ECW vibes from when I used to watch ECW back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Absolutely love that. So with that out of the way, those are our scores. Let us know in the comments below, what was your favorite match? What would you rate the show? And Putty thinks he's a wizard. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you all next time. Get a fireball in the face because I'm a wizard.